Hey, what's up, folks? How's it going? How's everyone doing? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, what's up, everyone? Yeah, I'm just going to be doing some training here. We started these problems last week, and I'll just be continuing. Basically, what happened was they, posted some problems from Aagaard's, chess teaching group, Killer Chess Training, and apparently even Shanklin himself works on these problems, and I've been meaning to do some over the board training. So they posted this nice article about it. I'll link it to you guys in the chat if you want to check it out. And yeah, basically I'll just be continuing to solve problems from here. I'll put them up on the screen and you guys can discuss them as well. And yeah, just going to be spending like something like 15 minutes per problem, just getting some calculation training in, believing in the plan and stuff. Nice, Cloud Set. Congrats. What was the what kind of tournament was it? What section were you playing in? Dojo takes full credit. Okay, I'm going to set up some of these problems here. Let's see, first one is going to be white to play. And these are going to be pretty tricky. So far, they've been pretty tough, very concrete. There's no clear, objective for any problem. It's just try to find the best line or best continuation. Sometimes that means playing for the win. Sometimes that means playing for advantage. Sometimes that means just playing not to lose. So it's really up to us to figure it all out. All we know is whose turn it is. Okay, I think that looks good. Let me set it up on my end too. Aagaard is of course really tricky, so these puzzles are rarely about finding some one idea, or one move, but rather finding some key point or key detail. They're rarely as simple as they may first appear. Oh, and obviously, guys, if you're watching this, then please no engines. Don't use the engine while we're solving or during the analysis. If you do, I don't want to hear about it. Just try not to mention anything. I would recommend not using the engine at all. And then afterwards, we're going to look at the solutions together. There's this video where they go over the answers, so we can watch that. Okay, I think that's it. Really trying not to mess anything up, but yeah, I think that's looking good. Nice, Cloud Set, nice. Okay, guys, so white to play. I'm also waiting on a delivery, so I'll be tracking that every once in a while. But yeah, 15 minutes or so. I'll come back. I'm going to be minimizing chat, so you guys feel free to discuss amongst yourselves. And okay, see you guys soon. Okay, guys, I need to use the bathroom real quick. So I will be back in a couple minutes. I'm going to keep thinking about it in there. You guys keep thinking about it out here. We'll be right back. All right. I'm gonna keep thinking about it for like maybe 3 more minutes. I don't know. Honestly, I'm still very unclear on all this. But See you guys soon. Okay. Yeah, really not sure still. Yeah, still confused on this one. Okay, I guess time to discuss. All right. Yeah, so honestly, I'm really not sure. The lines are pretty tricky for me. I guess first thing I was thinking about was like Queen H5, right? But then H6, and I didn't really see a follow-up here. So I was curious in this move, Bishop E5 too. And the idea is that if black takes on C3 with something, then Queen H5 and Queen G6 looks pretty strong. Um, and yeah, I think it's just lost here for black. So we're threatening mates if rook F6 and check, check, takes here, and yeah, I think it's just game over. But the problem with Bishop E5 immediately is, to my eyes, H6. I couldn't really find a move here. And if Queen H5, like with this idea, takes, and playing for G6, I think black just goes Bishop E8 and then takes the knight next move. So I couldn't really come up with anything here. So I don't know. I mean, I felt like D5 was the move, but I couldn't really calculate this one out all the way. So one idea is that if Bishop C3, we take this one, Bishop E5, and threatening the rook. If we get the rook back, that looks good. Also threatening Queen H5. So rook C2, Queen H5. I think this is winning for white. But here again, the issue is H6. And I couldn't really find anything better than takes, Bishop B4. Where we get the piece back, but is white better at the end? Honestly, I had a hard time saying. I like to believe white is going to be better, but I don't really know. Like bishop gets the diagonal, but hard for me to say. So that line might be okay. Honestly, it feels a little, doesn't feel right. But black can also take with the rook. And then again, there's bishop e5. And then if rook takes c1, I think queen h5 is good for white. Takes. And black has to give the queen, it seems, to avoid getting mated. H6, queen g6 again. So queen takes, and I mean, I don't know, black has a lot of material, but felt like this is a very active position for white. And yeah, I felt like I would have some options here. Like d6, for example, looks very annoying, threatening queen d8 check. But even this, I'm not clear that it's 100% good for white. And then the other issue with this line is again h6. where, yeah, if we take here, then black takes on g5, and I don't know, rook for two pieces. Black has b4 to get the knight out. Yeah, I really just couldn't understand why white should necessarily be better here. On h6, there's also the option to take this one, hg, and then do something like rook d1. I thought this was interesting as well. And here I actually couldn't figure it out for black, so I couldn't exactly find how black continues here, because we want to take this guy, we want to take this guy. And then we get a position with the rook for two pieces, but that one looks better for white. Yeah. Oh, rook d3. Actually, that's pretty annoying. Yeah, I didn't see rook d3, so that kind of kills the line. Yeah, so not sure about that one. I never the h5 square, and then like rook d1 and this one. But yeah, I just didn't know what to make of this. Here, looking at it, like seeing it in front of me, it actually looks quite nice. But yeah, over the board, this was hard to make out. Like b4 takes, I guess queen takes. Here, looking at it now, this is starting to look really tempting with this kind of thing. Yeah, once you see this line, like here, queen h5, then it starts to look really tempting. So yeah, this could be an option. Also possible is bishop takes. And then this one, yeah, I also wasn't sure about. But definitely looked at something like this. Here again, after b4, yeah, this one was a lot more unclear to me. Because we don't get the back rank. So is white better in this position? I mean, that's certainly not obvious to me. h6 is coming, and yeah, I don't really know. I mean, bishop on c3 looks pretty strong. So maybe on bishop c3, maybe it's this line. But yeah, not really sure. Hard to judge. Yeah, I looked at moves like queen b2, knight b1, but I don't know. Didn't really feel too confident about them. But maybe none of the forcing stuff works and white just has to play knight b1. But yeah, I think my answer is I'm just not sure. I don't know. If this was a game, I definitely wouldn't play d5. I would just try to keep thinking about it. Or I would play knight b1 before I play d5. But yeah, as far as the puzzle goes, hard to say if this is feels like black is just gonna play h6 soon, right? And start kicking on his back. Yeah. So Yeah, right. After d5, I think I'm mainly worried about bishop c3. And then I was thinking uh, take, take here, h6, and then take here. But I don't really know if white is better in this final position. Yeah, and then, right, white could also go DE. Where I was thinking bishop E8 and rook D1, oops, queen F6, uh, bishop D6, B4. And this didn't look great for white. So, yeah, I just didn't see how to get the rooks active here. Oh, so you like this? Interesting. Bishop B4 is not a move I noticed. Yeah. That might collapse black's position. Right, bishop B5, queen H5, yeah. Yeah, that's a nice one. I feel like if I saw this move, then I definitely would have would have liked this line. Yeah, it feels quite it's nice that we got rid of this pawn because now it's much harder for black to hold on to the position. Yeah, I can imagine knight b5, we take and go a4. And then where's the knight supposed to go? Now it starts to feel, yeah, now it starts to feel loose, like knight d6, queen a6. And then bishop on c3 might be hanging somewhere. Yeah, it looks nice. Now it feels like white's getting some pawns. Okay. So, yeah. Looks like this is probably pretty close. The nice thing about d5 is that if black takes, then knight takes d5. This looks very, very active for white. And bishop on b4 doesn't really seem to have super comfortable square. So it's really just these critical lines with taking on c3. Oh, so, okay, bishop c3 just looked at, and then rook c3. This one felt a little bit easier. It's rook d1, say queen here, this. And then b4 we just take, and rook d8 looked very annoying. Yeah. Okay, guys, let's take a look at the solution. Let's see what Sam thought, and then what the solution actually is. So we've just been watching them go through these on YouTube. I'm going to mute my mic, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
The field of dynamics, because that's I wrote on a lot of the sheets in feedback. This week's homework was all about momentum.
Yeah.
So
this
Sam,
one,
so far we have counted your points and you're doing fine.
so this one I wanted queen b2, and I thought what a really good position.
Okay, that's the first mistake.
Ah, god
This
darn
was played in the game. 8-6.
And it's knight h3, I guess, and take on
take
h4,
here.
bishop e5 or something.
Yeah, and you're a little better. It's compensation, but that's it.
For sure. Okay.
Well,
There was something stronger?
Yeah. So here in this position, I should just say this was mentioned by a number of people. So here, and some here like going for seeing if there's an advantage, but it's not really there. It's the main point here is piece down. So okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for goofy stuff as well, like queen h5, h6, queen g6.
What's the Shanklin principle here?
What happens if I do it anyway?
Yeah, what's the move you want to play anyway?
Bishop e5, queen h5.
Crash through. Hulk smash.
I barely considered it.
Yeah. Candidates.
So I guess if rook c3, we go take.
We have a few lines here. First of all, just for
okay, but this is
just pointless. Yeah, it is.
Well, pointless. Oh, okay. C3 is defended. Yeah, then it's pointless.
The only reason this wouldn't work is if black takes. So we'll start with bishop takes because it's simple to take apart. Something like this.
Oh, and a3 is hanging too. Nice.
And for example, we can take everything like this.
That's nice.
It's a very nice line, but there are other ways of doing it.
So what if rook c3 though? This would be the move.
Rook c3 is the main line. And here there are two ways of winning. First, I'm going to show you, I think this is Doc's line. And I have to say, when I saw it, I thought about giving him bonus points.
Okay.
But you know me, I'm not like that. So bishop e5.
Oh, whoa. Oh, and you want rook c1.
You got this one wrong. Maybe this was Boris then.
So it's queen h5
I think
now?
two or three had this, two or three guys had this made, yeah.
That's really nice.
Tom had it, yeah. Here and okay.
That's great.
And Boris had it, yes. It's sometimes it's hard to distinguish between Boris and Doc for me in my mind because I'm always sitting there knowing that they compare solutions after feedback. So this line was actually not the computer line, which was much more prosaic. Which was
come on, that's the line. That's the one, right?
It is the line. I made it the main line. But
actually, wait, hang on. After bishop e5, what if black plays h6?
That's a good question. Guys, do you want to defend your line? Bishop takes c3, bishop c3, knight e6.
Bishop takes e6. I'm not convinced there.
Bishop e6.
Bishop e5 or b4 or something. b4. Keep the rook out. Why would that? Black might be better there even. Okay, I think we should go bishop c3, rook c3, and d6, and then get the rook to c7.
Tom is suggesting queen h5. I think the problem here is maybe bishop e8.
Sure, seems natural enough.
I think that this is wrong. Here it's unconvincing, yeah. So, what if I take this way?
And then if HG. Rook
My
C7.
instinct is rook c7, but somehow I also want you to take here because I want to take the knight.
Okay, suppose I indulge you and take on C3 instead of taking on G5. What was your big idea? And then take on G5?
Well, here I had two ideas. I had, well, the first one was actually just taking the knight. Maybe I'll
Sure.
start with that.
But yeah, no,
It's
you're
not-
right. But why would we take the...
It's not so clear though, right?
No, what was the other solution you were saying?
Well, the other idea here was queen b2, but it's sort of similar.
Then there's queen e7.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
So,
Queen b2, b4. I wanted to play bishop b4, and I'm happy to take an e6 and g5 and a8 and everywhere. So that's not the issue. Yeah,
H6
okay, let's slow down here.
This is not clear. I mean, maybe a computer will find a win. I'm not seeing it. My H6 move may have ruined y'all's brilliant variation.
No, not at all. Bread and butter chess wins here. I checked.
What does computer say?
No, but what are the most natural moves to play here in this position?
Like bishop takes C3.
Yeah, let's play without playing fancy. Take here, yeah, and take
Yeah.
back. Next
Rook
move,
takes.
very obvious.
Rook C3.
Actually, you can take here.
Okay, and after HG5.
I think you have rook fg1.
Ah, that's the move. Yeah, that's what we need.
So here, the rook coming to 7th rank,
Yeah.
and all this hanging.
Is rook FD1 only move?
Let me see.
But that's the key point. I think that's right.
No, you can take on d7 also, and then
after b4, rook d1, rook f7. I don't know. All right, fair enough. I guess you will have queen a6 there.
So here, yeah, here there's this. So instead of h5, we have bishop e8. We can take here, and we have come here.
Yeah, well, once bishop e8 has been forced, then we're in very good shape.
Yeah. So this variation is not as clear as the other variation the computer gave, and that's why that was not the top choice of the computer. I still like the other variation, this variation better.
Yeah, queen h5 is nice.
Well, I'm not going to give you a point though. This one, everyone.
Okay, so yeah, we found some lines there. There's something I wanted to check. So yeah, I'm glad I kind of figured out that rook c3, we did see this line with bishop e5. We figured out h6 is best move. And then here, I had bishop c3, and yeah, I didn't quite see this one. Though we saw this idea in a different line with rook fd1, just, yeah, couldn't quite figure it out here. But I think he was saying there's another line that's better. My guess is here. Yeah, we can just go for that other line. Take d6. Bishop e8, rook d1, queen f6, and then bishop d6, and yeah, now b4. Okay, queen a6 is good here. I think this is also good enough. And yeah, white is dominating. So what do we miss here? Basically, this one. The main line I was looking at with rook takes c3 and bishop e5, this is at least good enough for equality after h6. So I do feel like I kind of at least evaluated this one, right? Not thinking white actually has an objective advantage, but white is definitely okay. But yeah, key point we needed to see here. b4. Yeah, we can take immediately, but stronger is e7 and then taking on b4. And yeah, white is collecting a lot of pawns. Okay, good work, everybody. Yeah, the point is just to do some training, just to visualize some lines and see how much we can find. I would say this totally isn't particularly unrealistic. Like 5-6 move combo, totally doable. But I think the main thing we're trying to achieve here is just to get our brain to visualize some stuff and try to find some ideas. No, GMs definitely don't see everything. I mean, most of the problems we looked at in this thing so far, like, you know, the right solution was missed in the game, and I think they mentioned like Queen B2 was played in the game, and yeah, they often miss the concrete stuff, but still interesting to analyze. Okay, let's go to next one. Next one is looking very, very Berlin-esque. Berlin-esque. And it's white to play. All right, I'm gonna put 15 minutes on the clock. I don't know if we'll need the whole thing, we'll see. But I just like 15 minutes is a good number. Last check, let me make sure my thing wasn't delivered. Okay, looks like not yet. Okay. White to play. I'm gonna minimize chat for a bit and see you guys soon. Yep, these are real positions. The idea is just to find best continuation for white. Could be win, could be equalizing, etc. Up to us to figure it out. Yeah, most of them have been pretty forcing though. So There's almost always something forcing to calculate. Okay, not sure how long I'm gonna spend on this one. Okay, maybe one more minute just to check. Got a phone call. Sorry guys, one sec. Okay, guys, yeah, let's discuss. So, I mean, honestly, only really looked at one move here, which is f5. Just feels very thematic and tempting. Idea is to open up the dark squared bishop and attack on the dark squares. So, bishop takes f5, bishop g5 check, okay, king e8, rook fd1. This looks game over. And king e6, I thought bishop f6 we should start with. And rook fe8. So my original idea was to play for this mate here, with rook d1 and rook d6, but then actually bishop e4, rook d7, rook c8. I didn't actually see a clear win here for white, and bishop c6 is coming. So yeah, I ended up deciding in this position I would just go rook f4. And then just take this one, and then bring the rook back to f4, g4. Bishop is just trapped. Seems like only thing black can try is like g5, but then we can just take it. King takes and rook e2 check, and bishop is lost. Yeah, king d6 takes, rook takes f5, an extra piece. And if black goes, let's say, rook h5 to keep the pawn defended, then I think this is pretty strong because rook d6 again, big threat, bishop e4, rook d7, and then rook e7 mate, or rook e7 check is very annoying, followed by rook takes f7. Here we take here. And yeah, it just looks like black's position is more or less busted. Yeah. So I don't know if I missed something, but it looks pretty straightforward. Okay. So let's take a look at the answer. I guess if gf5, I didn't really consider this one too much. I just thought again, check, bishop f6, and then this is a big problem. So yeah, I didn't really see anything easy here for black. I guess it's kind of a critical line to spot. Okay, let's take a look. Oh yeah, maybe black should give the exchange. That probably is best. But then, so rook d1, there's f4. Yeah, rook f1 provoke f4, then take, rook back to f1, and take here. So king takes, rook f2. Yeah, not sure this is so obvious. Yeah, king e5, rook f2, rook g8, right? Like, let's take a second look. So check, king e6. Bishop f6. And bishop c6. Kind of a shame for white to take the rook. I don't know if this is so obvious. It's definitely not obvious to me. Maybe rook d8. Yeah, I was just thinking that MG chess exactly. Rook fd1, f4, take, rook d8. And that's very annoying because white's rook gets in. Yeah, this looks tough for black. If rook moves, then rook c8. Yeah, if takes king e5, then I think we go after the h-pawn. I don't think this is easy, but definitely looks good for white. If we get this pawn, h-pawn looks pretty strong. Bishop e4 to c3. I think I would worry about maybe like rook h5. Here. Rook g5. Something like this is kind of awkward. Rook d2, f3. Oh, and then just take, maybe. Should be 4. Yeah, hard for me to judge. I don't know. So gf5 definitely feels critical. The other line I think was pretty easy. So here, bishop c6. Yeah, rook d1, f4, rook f1 we could also try. This feels like the way to go, just playing the endgame where black has very limited mobility. And then just taking this one day taking h4. It's got to be good for white. Yeah, this feels a lot smoother. Here, take, rook g6. I think we just take. Rook g8, g4. Looks nice. Just like g5. Yeah, I kind of like this better than the lines were up the exchange. Just like that bishop on f6 so much. Yeah, not sure about e6. Feels like we need this f6 square. So e6 takes, then f6. Yeah, I like that opposite color bishop endgame for sure. Okay, Derelict, that's fine. I'm just trying to figure things out for myself. You guys are welcome to your own opinions. But yeah, let's take a look.
Had except for MVL.
It has to be f5, right?
That's wrong. He played Rook FD1. But of course you should play F5.
Yeah, I mean, if black is allowed to put the bishop on f5, only black can be better.
Yeah, so here, okay, we can debate how much better it is. If you go here, you can even take this guy.
Yeah.
If you go here, which is main line, then you have to move the bishop to avoid mate.
Yep. Rook d7. Okay.
Yeah, and take stuff.
I wanted to put my king on f4.
Okay, you try to make mate, but I play g5 long before you get there.
Okay, I guess
So
that
if
makes sense.
you go here, I play here.
And then king e3, g5. And you survive. So rook d7 is better, yeah. Okay. But
Okay.
oh, sorry. I know. I was thinking of this king f2, king e3 plan if black had played rook h7 to save the pawn. But okay.
Okay. No, it from my perspective,
Okay, they didn't really get into the GF5 line, so I guess that was pretty easy. But I am curious if we got it right. So here, okay, f5, yeah, only move. And GF5, let's say, check, bishop f6. Yeah, bishop c6, best move. And then rook fd1, f4. Now, okay, two possibilities. Bishop h8, rook d8, and rook f1 immediately. So rook f1 seems like king f5. And then rook df2, again, this kind of f3 move. Finally, white should take the exchange. gf3. And white is better, but not fun to actually win this, I think. The other line, engine likes a little more, but I'm not sure if it's actually better. Let's see. So take, rook takes, rook d8, rook h7. So not rook c8 here. King h2 is hard to understand. What's king h2 about? Rook g7, rook d2, just defending, not allowing f3. And then going after like rook h8. So maybe this is the way white can get the biggest advantage. So still f3. Black is fighting. Bishop will come to e4. Feels like this still wouldn't be easy. But yeah, definitely f5. And then on this one, we were thinking yeah, what to do on rook e8. Oh, I guess we can just take on h4 immediately. That kind of escaped me. King is somehow getting under heavy fire. Okay, g4, rook takes f7 is nice. Apparently c4 is also a move. So c4, I guess threatening. It looks like everything's better. But this one, I guess, threatens like check and rook e1. That looks pretty devastating. Okay, but how about just rook f4? Was this also good enough? Or no, here black goes rook g8 and then takes g5. Okay, still white is better, but maybe not as much. Maybe not nearly as much. Stronger just to take this one. Yeah, I mean, if you can just take the pawn right away rather than spending 2 tempi, then yeah, it's probably going to be good. Oh, my bad, guys. My bad. I usually keep an eye on the chat. My bad, my bad. Anyway, everything was good. Yeah. We missed some details. Okay, next one. Look, guys, I'm just trying to give you an idea what it's like when I train. People are always asking like, "Oh, what's it like when you train? Can you talk about your process?" This is the process. I just don't watch chat when I'm training. That's the process. This next one's going to be white to play. I will set it up. Not to worry. Okay, let's put it on the board. Probably last one for today. Yeah, white to play. Everything looks pretty good. Okay. Oh, we got a raid. Hey, what's up, Lafang? Sorry, I was just setting up the next position. Hello, everyone from the raid. We are doing some over-the-board training here, solving some problems from Aagaard's homework club. Yeah, while I'm solving, I'm not reading the chat because it's very distracting. So I'm just trying to focus for 10-15 minutes on the position. You guys are welcome to try to figure it out for yourselves. And yeah, I will, I'll see you guys soon. White to play, just looking for some kind of concrete line. Could be win, could be only way to equalize. It's kind of up to us to figure it out. But yeah, let's think for a little bit and then I'll catch you guys in a bit. Okay. I think like 1 more minute. Okay. All right, I think we can talk about this one. All right. So, yeah, definitely I want bishop a3 here. Um, oops. And okay, takes, we have takes with check. But for fun, I also looked at this one. And okay, this I think is winning too. Queen g8, there's this. And here we have check. We're winning the queen. But okay, kind of irrelevant because we're just taking the rook. So king f7, yeah, I felt like was the main line. And actually here I wanted to give this check. And I think rook d7. I was thinking queen c5 check. And this looked very good. because if king f7, there's takes. And if king e8, there's check and check. King g6, rook g8, king e6, and queen c6. Rook d6, queen e8. Oh, sorry, queen c8 first. That was the point. And then here there's mate. And then rook d7. Kind of just assumed this was winning. Yeah, I think this one. And then this one. And yeah, we're taking here. Yeah. Oh, rook c8, rook d8. I think I just thought I'm playing here. This just looked... This looked pretty bad. Like queen d7, we take. And black is losing some pawns. King takes, we take here with check. Then on a6. Oh yeah, sorry, can't take with the queen. So yeah, king takes, takes. And this looked good. I also thought like at this point, like even the king and pawn endgame might just be good for white because we have the outside passer. So queen e7, maybe we just take and go king f1. Not 100% sure, but there's also queen takes a6. But I figured something must be winning here, so I didn't feel like we have to go super deep. Like, should be options. And then if king e6, thought this was kind of the best try, then I think I just wanted rook c8 here. And then we want this check again. For example, if rook g7, then I think I wanted actually trying to remember exactly. Did I want here? I think just this one. I felt like this should be good. Like king f5, there's this. King e4, then this is a funny mate. So black has to go like king g6. Maybe black is escaping a little bit here, actually. I'm not too convinced about this for white. So, yeah, I also considered actually at this point to give this check and then like rook c8 here. And this, yeah, it just looks like black's king is too weak, but not 100% on this one. Even training rooks taking on a6 also looks good. Yeah, so I didn't really consider starting with f3, but it certainly makes sense. Although I feel like we have to be careful. But yeah, I guess if queen e6, then just rook c6, yeah. Then we have this one. It kind of makes sense to kick the queen off of the g4 square. And these lines are probably better. But I don't know, I didn't look at f3 too much. I honestly just felt like this should be enough. Queen g3 maybe? Queen g3 might be... But I don't know, it feels like we should take. Give check. Rook d7, and now the rook's not even defended by the queen, so... No, this feels pretty bad for black. Feels like white should be good here. King e6, there's this one. Yeah, so some tricks like this. Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, Hughes, I didn't really look at queen takes a6 here just because I felt like, I don't know, this is just always like a plan B move, like you can take at any point. So it feels like we should go for the more forcing line first. I guess the question is whether to insert f3 or not. I'm honestly not sure. To me, it still feels like this should be good enough. Yeah, without f3, yeah, I didn't really, I just felt like white can take on a6 at any point. Like, it looks good, but it feels like we have a lot of moves that are good here. So I was just looking at the most forcing because this is Aagaard we're talking about, and it's always pretty forcing. But if I had to evaluate, I would say white is doing really well here. Just looks good. Yeah, maybe the simplest. I don't know. Okay, well, let's take a look at the answer. Hopefully it's bishop a3. If it's not bishop a3, I don't know what I'm going to do because we didn't really look at anything else. All right, let's switch over.
These are problems to be solved. They're not to calculate everything to the end. So if you solve the problem and then towards the end you do something silly, I generally don't care. If you checkmate yourself,
Okay.
and you generally should be educated in not making too long variations.
Yeah.
About anyone in particular. I might give you a small deduction for that. Okay, what do you want to play here?
Bishop a3.
Okay, this is also quite easy, yeah?
I mean, your bishop on b2 is an idiot. Get rid of his best defensive piece.
It's the worst place piece. You go and defend, you exchange the main defender. And okay, there's some different lines. Okay, this kind of stuff here is just never going to work for black.
Yeah, I mean, queen g6, there was going to be queen h8, bishop f8, queen e5.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't see like forced mate of.
You could win there in many ways, I'm sure. You could
I
also
didn't see like, yeah.
You could at least take all the pawns, so you
Sure.
can have 3 pawns for the piece or something. The king's still in trouble. So here and then, okay, this was suggested by some, but I don't see why white would want to go into rook ending. Queen
Well,
ending.
I mean, rook h4, rook g8's a little annoying, but I mean, say we like take on e7 and then go rook c6, it sort of feels like mate.
Here it's, I think there's a little bit of counterplay here, but still white's still better. So I have a variation that goes like this.
Okay.
It's also not really what you want. So here,
I mean, you should win that, I think.
Position, which obviously wasn't the problem to solve. Check, check, and here, and the king is in grave danger.
And there also, without black's rook coming to g8, he has basically no counterplays, so that's kind of nice.
The computer desperately wants to go here, and we take this guy. And black hasn't lost, but we have definitely solved the problem of how to make life most uncomfortable for him. So the fact that a computer can, okay, it will say probably +1. Let me just check actually. No, I'm not checking. The case that the computer can hold it is irrelevant for practical play. We don't really care about that.
Yeah.
Most often I don't like to put exercises that computers can save in book.
Okay, guys, my package is here, so I will be right back to make sure I get it. So BRB. All right, so yeah, looks like we more or less solved that one. I like the point that Aagaard made at the end there. It doesn't really matter if the engine can hold it, because it's all about posing practical problems. And then let's just check. So they were saying most accurate is to give this check, and then give queen c5 check, and then specifically queen c6 to pin the rook. King e7 is forced, and now rook to c8. And yeah, basically black has limited counterplay. Rook h8 is a big threat. Actually, yeah, it doesn't really believe in it, but very low depth. Let's go back here. Yeah, Hughes, your move, queen a6 also looks good. Chess.com engine likes this one, although I guess Aagaard is probably using something something stronger. Hey, SM Pooh Bear, good to see you. And then, okay, we're also looking at f3. So f3, queen f5 actually. So queen g3 we thought was the problem, but here queen b7, rook e8. Oh, queen b7, okay, we take on d5, yeah? So queen b7 is, okay, pretty simple solution. But then queen f5, why would this be a better version for black? Rook d7, c5 check, king e8. Oh, so here we don't get the skewer on the G file, so that's kind of the the downside. Okay, and yeah, bishop a3, we're threatening this one, yeah, so black has to respond to this. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, Scott, congrats on the new baby, the second dojo birth. Yeah, on queen g3, the point was that the engine just leaves the rook on e1, so queen b7 is just a killer. Because black has to defend, and we take this d5 pawn, and yeah, black's structure is all ruined. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. It's getting pretty late. We did about an hour or so that's cool. I'm gonna try to do some more training this week. We have a couple of problems left in the in this homework thing, so we'll try to finish those up soon. And yeah, I think I'll keep training like this. Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna go up on YouTube just because it's not that interesting. But it will be available on the VODs of our channel. So if you go to the video section on Twitch, these are saved for 60 days. So you got 60 days to to go through them. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna find someone to rate, and I'll be sending you guys on your merry way. All right, who we rating? Who we rating? How about Casa? Haven't seen him streaming in a little while. We're gonna rate Casa Corley. Really strong chess player, very instructive, really explains stuff well. He did some lectures for the US Chess School that people are big fans of. So go say hello, drop him a follow. Because I think he stopped streaming for a little while, but looks like he is back. Alright, y'all.